Senator Reed.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and gentlemen, thank you for your excellent testimony. Mr. Kalinich, insurance companies are using AI now very intensively to underwrite new policies and to process claims. And one of the emerging issues that you have to deal with is climate change. How are insurance companies using climate science in their AI models? Is that being done regularly now?
So it's being done increasingly now. So what they're doing is not just reactionary to a natural disaster that might be caused by climate, but they're actually now having monitoring out to try and predict when there's going to be a wildfire or predict a hurricane or predict flooding, so they can actually mitigate the risk before it happens. So when the hurricanes came in the southeast this year, they actually were in advance. They sent out drones that could actually start doing claims adjusting to get more accurate and more real-time loss data to get claims paid quicker and more precise.
So as we go forward, we're going to need more climate data to enhance the model's abilities to predict and to react. And it seems that many of our research efforts are being stymied by the administration, so that there's a dismissal of climate as a factor. But for insurance companies, it's dollars and cents. Is that right?
So I leave the administration and congressional to you experts. With respect to the insurance companies, though, you can only get insurance for this property or casualty or liability if the natural disaster possibilities are underwritten, which by necessity takes climate change into account. Yeah. So in order to get insurance, companies have to take that into account and evidence their best practices to address these critically important issues.
And a great deal of the data, the research, et cetera, is from federal and other non-insurance sources.
They're from a combination of different sources, correct.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Dr. Cox, the unemployment rate for recent college graduates was 5.8% compared to 4.2% for the overall population. It's kind of a reverse of when I was getting out of college last century, where you walked into a good job and you were on your way. LinkedIn's Chief Economic Opportunity Officer has warned that the bottom rung of the career ladder is breaking as AI increasingly handles tasks that would normally be young college graduates. If AI models eliminate many of these entry-level jobs, how will the next generation prosper, develop skills to move on if they can't get their first job?
Thank you for your question. I've been in technology for a little while, and I've seen trends of ups and downs, hard markets to enter into with a college degree, good times to enter into computer science, for instance, and it varies. One thing that we've seen, we do research with economists at MIT as well as with computer scientists as part of our MIT-IBM collaboration, and there is a growing body of evidence that suggests that AI doesn't eliminate jobs, but rather addresses certain portions of an occupation, or different tasks can be automated to different degrees, and that also in many cases that lower skilled workers actually are advantaged by having AI tools. It actually brings them to another level where they can be more productive. So I think it'll take certainly time. There'll be change in labor markets. I think we're all learning and studying this, but I think the potential is certainly for us to do more and not to replace people, but to augment them, to make them even more effective and productive.
Well, I think that's the aspiration we all should have, but I think we have to begin federal, state level to change our educational structure to prepare people for a world in which you won't be hired as an actuary because machines do that. So that's something I think we're not yet up to speed yet. My time is expiring, but a quick question, Mr. Cohen, I'll ask you. We recently, in our big, beautiful bill, so to speak, we're debating the prohibition of states from creating their own AI regulation. it fell out of the bill, thank goodness. So at this point, legally, states can have AI regulation. We've all talked about transparency, all the good words we've mentioned, but that only happens if someone is there with a cop on the beat. So is your approach that we should have state regulation, certainly if we don't have national regulation?
Our concern would be if there isn't alignment and harmony on the regulatory front, then it introduces complexity and won't bring the balance between innovation and safety. And so we would not want to see a balkanization of regulation. We wouldn't want to see it at a state-by-state level because, again, that would probably impede innovation and keep some players out from actually experimenting. And so the greater clarity we can have, the greater certainty that we can have in general in markets, that you're going to see more participation and more embracing of transparency.
Just a quick point. I believe New York State has already stepped forward with regulations, and in many cases, they're the leader in sort of financial regulations, better sometimes than the U.S. government. Would that be the model that you would support nationally?
I would have to look at it more deeply against other models, but we would, it's more important that we would just have a single standard. And again, if you have lots of standards, people will go to the lowest standard. And that would be regulatory arbitrage, and we would not want to see that happen.
Right. And the only thing worse would be no standard, and it'd be a gunfight in the Old West. So thank you.